everyone, my name is Genevieve Moses and I will be doing my screencast for Unit 12 on today, Sunday the 12th of April. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look over this week's weather, which was from Sunday the 22nd through to the next Sunday in March. When you're looking at the weather patterns for this day, you'll notice that most of Alaska is under cloud cover, and there is a warm and cold stationary front right here going through the middle of Alaska and along the coastline. There's a high pressure system working its way in the west, and there's a lot of fog covering the northern to northeast part of the state. Down in the Pacific and southeast and southwest Alaska, there is an occluded front moving in with a low pressure system behind it. Monday's weather was good. You can see here that there are high pressure systems working from the west, north, and southwest or southeast of Alaska. There are low pressure systems and a cyclone forming in the southwest part of the state in the Pacific, and over here on the coastline there's a low pressure system moving in. As you can see here on the map, there is a high pressure system keeping it clear up through here in the Fairbanks area, which is where I'm located. I'm located in Salcha, Alaska. The high pressure system is in the east, and there's a high pressure system in the west, but there's a large low pressure system moving towards the Alaskan coast. You can see the occluded front right here and the warm front behind it, which would signal that there is some significant weather coming. Wednesday's forecasted weather was showing the occluded front moving into southeast and southwest Alaska, with the low pressure system continuing north and the high pressure systems moving, the one in the west moving out more west and the one in the east moving east, causing most of the central to northern part of Alaska to be fairly clear, but there was a lot of weather on the coastline in the east and the west. Thursday, as you can see, the weather did in fact move in to the state, where most of the state did become cloudy. It was a very warm week for Alaska in general, but this was one of those days where we had a light wind in even Fairbanks and a little bit of cloud cover. If you look down at the southwest part of the state, you'll see two low pressure systems working their way northward with an occluded front. There is a high pressure system that is still moving out towards the west, whereas the high pressure system that was present on Tuesday and Wednesday in the west east has already moved out, and it was replaced with low pressure systems moving into the state. Looking at Friday's weather, you'll see that there is a trough covering over here with the low pressure systems. The low pressure systems are both hovering there are three of them in the northwest, and they're hovering around 981 again, and 972. The 972 looks like it's moving northwards into the state and will bring significant weather, as you can see the cloud and weather moving around it. Over here is a high pressure system. It's not causing too much clearing, and a lot of this coastline was seeing rain, both on the southwest and southeast coasts. The Saturday forecast was projected that the coastline of the state of Alaska would see severe weather with an occluded front moving north and another one coming in from the west with a low pressure. This weather signals severe weather. It's a cyclone almost, and it was moving towards the state. As you can see up here in Fairbanks and on the north part of Alaska, that there was very little weather to report in those areas on projected for Saturday, which turned out to be correct for those areas. It was a very calm, warm day. Sunday's forecast, you can see the low pressure system was expected to move even further into land, and two low pressure systems were coming closer towards our islands and towards the coastline of the west part of Alaska. This Sunday weather map shows that the weather in fact did reach land, and it brought severe weather. Not as severe as it was off coast, but it was still a lot of rain showers going on and a lot of cloud cover. There was some in the south central and in the Fairbanks area. There was a low pressure system in the west and a high pressure system moving in there's a low pressure system in the east and a high pressure system moving in from the west from Russia. You can see up here that the north slope was experiencing snow and fog cover. Overall, looking through the week at the different types of forecasting, the climatology forecast obviously did not work for this week's situation due to the fact that it was a warmer than usual week, especially in March. It was very warm, snow was melting, it was slippery. It got cold, a little cloudy on some of the days, especially in my area, but for the most part, it was a beautiful, warm week, which was shown across Alaska with severe weather in the south and warm, clear weather in the north areas. The thing about it, though, is with climatology is they're looking at the overall normal thing, and since it was not normal, it did not fit into that week's pattern. Persistence forecast, however, it worked well enough for what happened. There are some areas where it didn't work at all, especially in areas that saw those low pressure systems, whereas in the Fairbanks area, everything was very close. Looking at the Bethel, Dillingham, and Kenai area, there was some cyclonic weather going on. This influences the temperature because with humidity and all of the aspects that come with the cyclone, cloud cover and rain and wind, the temperatures could vary easily from at what point in the storm they were taken. So I actually believed that the cyclone would go more towards the east and a lot more north than it did. I thought it would hit the southeast Juneau area a lot harder than it did, whereas it stayed kind of in that Kenai, Bristol Bay, Bethel, and all those areas. It didn't go as far east as I had anticipated. Had it gone east, it would have changed not only how much rain fell, but where. As I said before, overall, this was a gorgeous week for the Fairbanks area. That week we saw record highs, and there were clear skies and warm sun, and then when the clouds did move in, it didn't get much colder, and though there was a very, very little precipitation, it did not stick to the ground. And I would say definitely the weather from the southern part of the state had helped affect moving a warmer system towards the north. I hope everybody had a good week and had an easy time with homework.